All right, if I had 3 books to read for the rest of my life, these would be it. Hi, I'm Christina, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm so very excited to talk about books, especially these books. I'm going to keep this spoiler free in hopes that you are intrigued enough by the end of this video to pick one of these books up, or all 3. All right, we've got Jane Eyre. I know most of you have probably read the book or seen the movie, but here we go. This is one of them. If I was on a desert island, I'm bringing her. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte follows Jane, who is orphaned as a young girl, endures hardship and abuse, and as a result of that, comes out with an incredible sense of self-worth. She eventually goes to Thornfield Hall, where she works as a governess and meets the mysterious Mr. Rochester. And from there, we see a woman who just refuses to abandon herself, even in the midst of something that she wants so badly, which is love. I love the growth that we get to see of Jane's character. I love that in this gothic tale, I love how the weather almost acts as a character. I love how the house acts as a character. It's foreboding and foreshadowing. It's eerie. Is there a ghost? I don't know. You just gotta read. But through it all, through trials and setbacks, Jane never wavers. She knows exactly who she is and what she wants, and she does not settle. And I think for a book that was written, almost 200 years ago, it is incredibly poignant. And still today, I believe that women, everyone can read this and learn so much just by witnessing Jane's character, her resolve. She's an amazing character of what it looks like to be steadfast. All right, I'm gonna try to keep this quick, by the way. So, Jane Eyre. Next up is her sister. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Also, is this not just gorgeous, this cover? I really hope my camera is getting this. It's just, with the gold, yeah. Anyway, yes, sisters wrote these books. We have Emily Bronte wrote Wuthering Heights, and Charlotte Bronte wrote Jane Eyre. This book, oh my word, this book, I tell you, it literally created a new brain wrinkle. It has completely altered me forever. There was before I read Wuthering Heights and after me. Those are the 2 versions of me. All said in good fun, you know what I mean? But holy cow, this, I feel like Emily looked at Charlotte, her sister, and was like, your book was cute. You wanted a gothic tale? Sit down, I'll write you one. And out came Wuthering Heights. This is an excellent portrait of an unhealthy love story. This is wildly obsessive, toxic, all the buzzwords there. Selfish, just unhinged. It is, my daughter used this word earlier today and I thought it was so amazing. Bonkers. This book is bonkers. And it is like the car wreck that you see and you can't look away. And yet it's so amazing. I love this book so, so much. It follows Kathy and Heathcliff. And what is probably the greatest story of generational, I don't even know what to call it, generational toxicity. Their love story, and I put that in quotes because it's really not a love story. And keep in mind, this one is also almost 200 years old. I think these were written in the same year. I'd have to look that up. So I don't think it's a spoiler to say that this is not really a love story. However, that being said, I do think that there is some bit of it where when you're reading and the reader is like, you can see through the chaos and see through their like truly black hearts and just see the rawness of what they're feeling for each other. And I do think that was love. I think there is an element that they really did love each other. It was just, like I said, wildly obsessive. But it starts with them as young children, and you really get to see them grow and how they are each other's lives. They are truly all they have. For Heathcliff, Kathy is very much his home. And then it goes from there. So this book is just an insane ride of emotion. I think I felt everything on the spectrum of emotion except genuine happiness or peace. It's brutal. And the way, I mean, it's been months since I've read this now. And the way that it still lives rent free in my brain, I will be doing something and just momentarily pause. And just like my mind goes right back here. It's like, holy cow. There is some of the best writing that I've ever read in here. Emily was gifted. And if you'll allow me, I don't think this is a spoiler to read, but I love writing quotes from the books that I'm reading, and I want you to hear this. I believe, I know that ghosts have wandered the earth. Be with me always. Take any form, drive me mad. Only do not leave me in this abyss where I cannot find you. Oh God, it is unutterable. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul. Like, did you get goosebumps? Because I got goosebumps again. And I've read that quote again and again and again. So good, so unhinged, so wild and chaotic. And the whole time you're reading it, it's like you're trying to make sense of the absolute storm that's going on here. And Emily will not let you do it. Emily Bronte had things to say. She wanted the audience to feel a certain way. And it was so, I think, at the time, countercultural to what women were writing. Although I do believe that she wrote this under a male pen name. But women weren't writing this. And I definitely, at the time, I don't think women were reading the love stories like this. And so I think when it first was released was very, I do think it wasn't, from what I've heard, it was not released to positive reviews. It was very like a shock and awe. I think that's how Emily wrote it. And the audience had to have been shocked, because me today reading in 2026 was my jaw was just on the floor. It is so shocking, but it is so good. And yeah, I feel like if I had to accurately sum this up, it would be: shut the front door, hold phone, and oh mama, she really went there. That's this book, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Go check it out. And then after those two amazing Gothic tales, you maybe need something a bit comforting. Enter Winter Solstice by Rosamund Pilcher. I could just hug this book. I loved this story. Oddly enough, when I was reading this, I remember telling my husband how irritated I was at the start of this book, because I had never read anyone like Rosamund Pilcher. And so I had never read a book by her. I was very unfamiliar with the writers that just put every detail into their books, to the point where it truly becomes a book where all your senses are stimulated. You can taste and see and smell and hear and feel like you're touching everything. And so I had not yet learned how to slow down enough in my reading life to truly appreciate a writer like Rosamund Pilcher. The depth that she goes into her characters' lives feels like a fully immersive story. And this story in particular follows, I believe, 5 people. And at the core, they are all experiencing grief and frustration and disappointment. And they all come together over winter solstice. I believe it's Christmas time in Scotland. Mm-hmm. The setting, she knows how to write a setting. So they come together and they are forming, it's the found family. They are forming what they need for each other. They are discovering what it looks like to trust again, to love again, to laugh again. It's genuinely one of the most outstandingly beautiful books I've ever read in my entire life. There is a scene in this book where 2 men are sharing a glass of like peated whiskey with each other next to a fireplace. And it's one of the most simple scenes ever. But they're sitting together, very simple conversation, sipping their peated whiskey, and you can just feel the warmth. You can almost taste the whiskey, the scotch. Sorry, my husband's probably gonna watch this and be like, "You're not up on your lingo." I do apologize. It was scotch, peated scotch. Not that that matters, but here we go. So it's one of those scenes that for some reason or another has just stayed with me. And like I said, the simplicity of it truly is a book of slice of life, everyday moments. And Rosamund Pilcher just wins you over with writing that envelops you. It just makes you feel like you're wrapped in a blanket, and she's like whispering the whole time, "You're gonna be okay. You'll be all right." That's what it feels like. Um, on top of it, my favorite female character ever written is in this book, Elfrida. Oh, wow. Elfrida is a woman, I think she's in her 60s, maybe 70s, but um, just a woman who's so confident in herself. She's aware that she's aging. She is no spring chicken anymore. She doesn't claim to be. And she's just loving where she's at in life. She cares for those who are in her sphere. She feeds them well. She sits down. She talks to them. But she's so resolute in herself. She really makes no apologies for being who she is. And in today's world, women need this type of woman to read about. I think I had never read a character like that. And so I just fell in love with Elfrida. And her confidence. And by the end of the book, I remember closing it. I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be Elfrida. So, Winter Solstice, Rosamund Pilcher, the biggest warm blanket hug type of book you'll ever consume. Just stunning. And there you have it. Those are the 3 books that, if I only ever had those for the rest of my life to read, my heart would just be so happy. All right. I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. And thank you so much for being here. I hope that today's video inspired you to pick up a new book if you've not read them, or if you have, please share which one you've read or what you liked about it. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.